Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Amanda Bradford, and I'm very happy to be here and sharing with you tonight. I trust that the information that we're going to present is informative and exciting to you, as we have seen some incredible health transformations. I'm not going to tell you that this product is a cure. This goes one step beyond that. This activates your body to heal itself as it is naturally designed to do. And this particular field is called redox science, and it's quickly revolutionizing the way that we approach a number of areas, including disease treatment and prevention, how we look at anti-aging and beauty, how we manage sports performance and recovery, and quality of life and increased longevity. So people come to hear this information for many different reasons, and you may have been invited here tonight because you're struggling with a health challenge for yourself or a loved one. You may understand alternate therapies, and you like to take a proactive approach in maintaining good health. You may have a busy lifestyle. You may be a casual or a professional athlete, and you're looking for extra endurance, performance, repair, recovery on a daily basis. Then this information is for you as well. So the other reason why people come and join us is that we're constantly connecting with entrepreneurs from around the world, and they're looking to participate in the benefits of taking a category creator to open markets. And in this instance, we need your help. And so I'm looking forward to sharing more about that as we get along tonight. But firstly, I'd like to share with you a little bit about what brought me to this point and the experiences for our family which really got our attention. Okay, so I come from a 16-year banking industry to being a mum and a home educator for our 6-year-old daughter. And our introduction to this health technology was when our family pet here, Toby Oates, he, at the age of 12 years old, was diagnosed with a very extremely high white cell count of 138, when a normal range is between 6 and 13. We were devastated. The vet had told us to take him home, make him comfortable, and you might have 2 weeks. Now, 24 hours later, his feet were falling out from underneath him, his vision was impaired, and we were ready to take him in. And my in-laws visited, and they gave us this blue bottle. And they said that the chiropractor had introduced it to them about a month ago, and they were taking it for repairing cells. And so we immediately began to give that to Toby. I'm pretty sure my husband almost flooded him with it. We just used a little syringe and gave it to him by mouth. And what happened was incredible. Within 2 weeks, he could walk again and he could see properly. And we just continued to give it to him. And he actually got to live till the age of 15, which was January this year. And throughout that next 2.5 years that he got to spend with us, he just got increased mobility and quality of life, really. So that was incredible. Our second experience was about 4 months into it when we were introduced to it. And our little girl, Ayla, she had fallen over face first onto concrete and smashed her 2 front teeth. Now, over time, one of them had developed an abscess, and the other one had gone black. And the dentist wanted to put her into hospital and remove those teeth the following week. Now, we postponed the surgery and thought we're going to try this product. And we were going to rub the gel onto her teeth and get her to swish it. And we found that just over a month, the abscess fully repaired itself. And then over the next year or so, the tooth that was black actually started to turn to a light grey. So it regenerated itself to a degree, and she got to keep those teeth until they naturally fell out at the age of 6. So for another 2 years. So these incidences got our attention, and that's where we started to go and investigate further. And tonight I'd like to introduce you to this company called ASEA. and they have this incredible technology. Now, it is 10 to 15 years ahead of its time. It's heavily patented and unique. It's a new category of science. Your doctor may not even know about it. Less than 1% of the population has heard about it. There is Nobel Prize winning research, and it is native to our body. It's better than natural, it's native, it belongs in there. There is zero toxicity and it's extremely powerful. And it was actually once thought to be impossible to recreate these molecules outside of the body. So before we get into that tonight, into the products, we need to understand firstly how it's naturally produced and naturally produced within our body. Now, every illness starts with a cell, and we live and die at the cellular level. When our cells are healthy, we are healthy. Now, our body is made up of trillions and trillions of cells. We have heart cells, lung cells, kidney cells, blood cells, bone cells. Every part of our body is made up of cells. And inside those cells, there are chemical processes that are happening every second to orchestrate the wellness of our body. Now, 300 billion cells are being replaced every day. 300 million cells die every minute. This is a basic diagram of what we just saw before. And within each cell, if this was just one of the cells in our body, within each cell, it is made up of salt water surrounding all of the little bits inside the cell. And one of the functions inside the cell is the mitochondria or mitochondrias. Now, the role of these is to, when we eat food, convert that food into energy, into ATP. And a byproduct of that is these redox signaling molecules. Now, these molecules are made up of reductants and oxidants. And what we're saying really here tonight is that as we sit here and we're talking, our body is making these molecules, and they're sending this signal off to the immune system to say that, is this cell healthy? If it is, let's protect it. And if it's damaged, then let's send over the workmen over to fix that cell, repair it, or replace it if it's too damaged. Now, if that function doesn't happen in our body, then the consequences of that is that this one cell that thinks it's healthy but actually needs repair, it multiplies. So one cell turns into 2, 2 into 4, 4 into 8, and this is the beginning of the symptoms in our body that may take a year or it may take 20 years for us to see and feel. And then we head off to the doctor for help. So how does this affect us? Well, our bodies are producing this molecule, as we said, and we're actually producing it in abundance up until puberty. And then the experts are telling us that from puberty, it starts to deplete by 10% per decade. And that's why we start to see things like our skin gets wrinkly, our hair turns grey, we get more aches and pains, and we just simply don't recover as quickly as we did when we were younger. So along with age, we have our environment. And over the last 100 years, we've introduced a whole new spectrum of issues into our life. And that's with our diet, with processed foods, stress, environmental toxins, chemicals. Now, one of the things I know that, lack of sleep, for instance, it's not uncommon. And of course, it's impossible to avoid all of these chemicals and what's in the air that we breathe. But these factors, they just increase the natural depletion of the redox molecules on top of age. And that's where our bodies are starting to get these health concerns. So what are these redox molecules? Well, they are created within every single cell of our body. And they are there to protect, repair, and replace that cell. They are vital to life. I was actually told that if our bodies stopped producing these molecules, that we would actually be dead within minutes. So that's how vital they really are. Now, this discovery of this molecule within our body, it wasn't actually found until the 1990s. And these three Italian scientists here, they received a Nobel Prize in 1998 for making the discovery. And this gentleman here, his name's Dr. James Watson, and he's the gentleman who got a Nobel Prize for discovering DNA. And he has said that this discovery is bigger than him discovering DNA. And he has dedicated the rest of his life to being able to study redox biochemistry. Now, these redox signaling molecules, as we said, they're made in every cell of our body every second of every day. They're essential to life and they're involved in every major body system and function. So what is the redox breakthrough? Well, the reason why we're here tonight to discuss this is that there was a biotech company in the US after this discovery, and they set about trying to replicate this molecule. Now, they spent about 17 years and millions of dollars, and fortunately for us, they were able to achieve the impossible, what was deemed impossible. They were able to stabilize these redox signaling molecules outside of the body. And how do they do that, you may ask? Well, it is a three-step patented process. And like we said before, this is native to our bodies. So that means that they start with the same substance that's within each of our cells, and that's a salty solution. So when we go to hospital, they give us a saline drip, or when we cry, our tears are salty. So they start with pristine salt and water. Then they break the atoms of salt and water apart so they are free-floating, and they use an electrochemical process to put these atoms back together in the same structure as a redox signaling molecule. And that's what we have in this bottle and in this tube, is trillions and trillions of stabilized redox signaling molecules. So just where did this product come from, and where did the seer come into it? The biotech company that originally had it had invested all of this time and money into it, but they actually asked this gentleman here on the left, Vertus Norton. He had actually to sit on the board of their company and help them work out this technology and help them get it to market. Now, Vertus Norton, he had spent the majority of his career as the vice president of marketing for a little company that you may have heard of called Kraft Foods. Now, he had retired. He was a successful, wealthy man, and sitting on the board of this company was something that he did as a hobby. And when he looked at the technology, he realized that this product was something phenomenal, that even the biotech company that had it didn't realize the enormity of what could be done with this technology. And so what they wanted to know was, would people actually drink this technology? Because it does taste like swimming pool water. And so they handed it out to 40 of their family and friends, and they told them to use as much of the product as possible, and we'll be back in a few months to get your feedback. Now, after a couple of months, they found that those 40 had turned into 135. And that's when they thought, well, great, let's get this out to the world. People are going to drink it. It's got some pretty amazing health benefits. And we've got all of our patents and science and validation. They took it to a pharmaceutical company. First, the pharmaceutical company didn't believe what they had. They said it was impossible. However, upon testing, it took them 3 days to get on a jet plane and fly in to the office of this biotech company and make them a generational wealth offer for the patents. Now, there was a condition that went along with that, and the condition was that they needed to hand back all of the product that was out there, and that they wouldn't have access to it anymore. So within that 135 people, Vertus had said to the pharmaceutical company that we have 6 people that are terminal and they're seeing some positive results. And of course, we would like to continue distributing this product. Well, that wasn't an option for them. They had a choice to make, and they actually said no to this offer. And that's why we are here today. and why we have the company ASEA. So this one company has harnessed the power of redox molecules. And that's exciting because we now actually get to start treating causes of our issues, of our health issues, rather than just the symptoms. Now, ASEA is the only place in the world where you can get these two products. So these molecules come in a liquid form, which we consume, and they start to repair our body from the inside out. The Renew 28, it's a gel, and we apply that to the outside of our body, and it works from the outside in. Now, this company down the bottom here, Bioagiletics, they test for the majority of the pharmaceutical companies to say that what is on the packet is actually in the packet. So ASEA have engaged with Bioagiletics, and they send every batch that they make to Bioagiletics for testing to say that what is in that bottle is redox signaling molecules. Now, it is 100% safe. It's non-toxic. It's not natural. It's actually native to our bodies. Now, if you are like me, you wanted to know where the science and the research was, and you can go and look at this yourself. There's over 1,200 books on redox biochemistry. And there's over 17,000 peer-reviewed articles that have been published in the public medicine site in the US, which is www.pubmed.gov. Or you can also go to this website that's on the screen, aseascience.com, and have a further look for yourself. What's interesting is that the Huffington Post, which is an online newspaper that you may have heard of, back in 2016, they put out this article that said, here are 5 of the craziest game-changing technologies that are starting to take off. Pay attention, because some of these are going to shape our lives in the coming years. And as you can see, number 4 on that list is redox signaling technology. They said redox signaling molecules have been around for eons, but it isn't until recently that we've learned about their central importance in our health on a cellular level. New technology is emerging that inserts healthy redox signaling molecules into your body, helping to repair and replenish your aging cells. Since we're made up entirely of cells, every organ in the body can potentially benefit from this new technology. And of course, they're referring to the ASEA redox, since it's the only place that we can access these molecules. So they have invested in independent studies, and one of the studies that they did was with a company called Tourette Laboratories, and they do gene testing for the likes of, say, Ancestry.com and companies like that. Now, what they discovered that this technology can increase genetic expression by up to 31% in just 8 weeks. So, of course, during this trial, they had the participants on the product. They also had a placebo group and a control group. So 100% of the participants in this study got an increase of between 20 and 31% during this 8-week period, which was a phenomenal amount. And as we know, all the information to run our body, it's in our DNA, but that information has to be expressed. Or it has to be communicated throughout the body. And being able to increase that communication by up to 31%, that's having a major impact on these 5 areas, and that's your hormone modulation, immune system, inflammatory response, cardiovascular health, and the elasticity of your arteries, as well as gut health. And just one of the pathways behind one of these is another 15 pathways. And that particular one that we're going to talk about tonight is EGR1. And some of those, as you can see here, is your serotonin, so the happiness, circadian rhythm for sleeping. We've got insulin signaling, spinal cord injuries, hormones signaling, ovarian fertility genes, and this one here called NFR2 pathway. Now, this one is something that's pretty incredible. NFR2 is our body's ability to create its own antioxidant. So we can take berries and we can take super juices and things like that to increase our antioxidants, but our body actually has its own ability to make it. And during this study, they found that it increased our body's own antioxidant efficiency by up to 800%, which is incredible. That diagram there is a little bit like if we were to give our body the cells, the berries and the juices and whatnot to it to help the antioxidants increase. That's all good and well. That's the light bulbs. But we actually need the redox, the signaling, to turn the lights on. They're the power supply. And that's why we're seeing some pretty incredible health challenges getting on top of. They also did some studies on athletes and on mice. And during those studies, they found that the endurance was increased by 29%. And so the company has athletes and Olympians using this technology. None of them are actually paid. They all need to apply to represent the company and use their products. And as you can see here, there's a lot of different fields. We have swimmers and weightlifters, triathletes, Ironmans. I believe we've just brought on some new athletes recently too. So Eddie Hall here, he was the world champion for deadlift, where he lifted 500 kilograms. And so what is this redox supplement doing for athletes? Well, it's increasing their endurance and their strength. They're recovering a whole lot quicker. They're repairing faster. It's increasing their mental stamina, and it's increasing what we call this VO2 max, which means like the runner's wall, which during this trial, they found that it increased VO2 max by 12%, which is phenomenal, because if an athlete was to train for 6 to 12 months heavily, they would increase their VO2 max by maybe 1 to 2. If they were to take an illegal drug, they could increase it by 3 to 4, whereas this was proven to increase that by 12%. So phenomenal percentages here, results that these athletes are experiencing. Now, independent studies were also done on the Renew 28, and they used a company called Stevens and Associates and Dermatest to conduct those. Now, Dermatest only give out a 5-star rating if 100% of the participants get results. And these tests were done over 28 days. During that time, they found that cell renewal increased by 16%, smoothness 23%, wrinkles 23%, elasticity 20%. What's really phenomenal here is this one at the bottom that says 50% increase in circulation after just 15 minutes of application. And that's why that the healing is happening so much faster when we can increase that blood flow to the areas that are an issue in our body. So what does this mean? It means that our body, our skin, it's aging slower. We're getting on top of skin challenges. This is our first aid kit. Our family, I don't go anywhere without a tube of this Renew 28. It is used for anything. It's cuts, burns, stings, pain relief. It is everything. And knowing that it's 100% safe and it fits in my handbag in one tube, even better. Look, I can talk to you all night about all these results, but I just want to show you a couple of pictures. And I should have mentioned that we're actually going to bring in a live testimonial tonight. A gentleman by the name of Alec has experienced some results with his eyes, and I look forward to bringing you in shortly, Alec, so that you can share us your experiences. But firstly, if we just have a quick look here at these images, you can see what it's doing for people when you're applying it. The gel, it's fixing up wrinkles, it's getting on top of inflammation, that the issue that young people have, skin irritation. As we said before, it's increasing blood flow and circulation. For fine lines and wrinkles, again, some more skin irritations. And this lady here, she's absolutely astounded at the results that she got. It did take her about 5 or 6 months to get this result, But as you can see there, she was dealing with a very serious issue, which wasn't great for a lot of reasons, including self-confidence. It's assisting with healing wounds, with stretch marks and scarring. One of the studies that they did was on cellulite, and this study showed that, like I said earlier, it increased the skin elasticity by 20% and the improvement in appearance of cellulite during this study as well. More scarring, as you can see there, that was about 5 months as well. So a lot of people see different results in different times. It depends on your body, what condition it's in, what it's trying to heal. And all as we say is, I find that if I apply it regularly, initially when there's a problem, you seem to see a whole lot faster healing. As you can see there was another young gentleman there with the skin issue. So many people, they are applying this to lots of parts of their body for pain or for muscle discomfort, and we do that by applying it 3 times in 5 minutes to the area. And we suggest that you rate that pain out of 1 to 10 before, and then again 10-15 minutes after you've applied the redox gel. And 9 out of 10 people are finding a considerable difference in their discomfort during that time. This lady here, her name's Julie Watts. Many of you may have heard her present before. She's from Gladstone, and she has, as you can see here, a skin condition that was caused from sun damage. And as you can see today, her skin looks absolutely beautiful. It's gotten on top of all the scarring and the issues that she's had. As we said before, first aid kit, bruises. The head here, that's mine. About a year into using this product, I slipped over on some water on the tiles, landed on my head, and that bubble came up, bruising and inflammation came up pretty much instantly. I just remembered after 12 months of using this that you really should go get the camera and take some evidence, because amazing things happen. And as you can see, 24 hours later, the swelling had completely gone and there was no bruising. As we said earlier, with my dog, this is cellular. It's working on living cells. So that means plants and it means animals as well can benefit from using this product. So what we've seen here, imagine what's happening on the inside when you're putting these molecules in, if this is the results that we're getting on the outside. Now, like I said, we like to say, may you never know what you are preventing. We've discussed the flagship technology. So we have these molecules in the bottle. We have them in the gel, the Renew 28, and they also come in a more concentrated version in the little blue tube, which is a serum, and that's for like fine lines and wrinkles. Now, over the 9 years that this company has been about, there were people requesting for a full, complete skincare package. So the company has brought out these this cleanser and the moisturizer, and they are incredible quality. I highly recommend you trying those. They're designed to complement the Renew 28, so they do prepare the skin ready for the molecules, and then of course waiting about 10 minutes or so and then applying a moisturizer afterwards. Now, just recently, last year in fact, the company decided to bring out some nutrients, some supplements. And why would you do that? Why would they do that, you may ask, especially when they had this incredible technology and supplements can be purchased elsewhere. Well, first of all, I like to say that our cells actually need the complete package. They need some good quality supplements and nutrients to be able to operate. They're the tools that they use. And it's a little bit like if we were to build a house and we had a vacant block of land and we were to get all the materials delivered to the block. Well, that would be what we give, all the goodness that we give to our body. And the only way that that house is going to get built is if the workmen show up and the foreman shows up to put that house together. And that's where the redox comes in. The cell signaling supplement, that is the labor and it's the workmen, and they tell the goodness that we give our body what to do with it, and that allows us to ourselves to be healthy and to know what to do. So ASEA is the only company in the world to offer ourselves the materials and the labour to get the work done. Now, I'm not going to go into these intents tonight. You're very welcome to go and have a look online. We have a CAVIA website, and they will fully explain what is in these, but they are amazing nutritional supplements. What they are is they're a whole food micronutrient complex. There is no synthetics in there. They're 100% vegan, non-GMO, gluten-free, and they also have cofactors involved in these or included in these, so that they allow the cells to be able to absorb the technology or the vitamins and the minerals as they reach the cell, which is really important. We know that our body is what it can absorb, not what we give it. And that's what they've included in those cofactors is enzyme technologies and fermented technologies. Now, just very briefly, this product here is called Source, and if I was to call it a multivitamin, I'd be underselling it. It's a whole lot more than that, as I said before. It's a whole food micronutrient supplement. It includes 26 varieties of superfoods from land and sea, and I have found since using that I have increased nail strength and hair quality, and definitely have found that it increases what redox was doing in my body as well. Now, this product here, Biome, it's a probiotic. Now, it has 16 strains of probiotic in it. If you were to go to the store and buy one, you might find somewhere between 4 and 9 strains. The fact that it has 16 is phenomenal, but they've also included a prebiotics in there too, and that allows the probiotics to be fed so that as they reach the gut, they can flourish, and they can allow them to stay alive and get into the intestines as well and continue to do their work and keep our gut health well. Now, Life Max here, that is what it says it is. It is for life and vitality. It is anti-aging. It is used to give us more energy, vitality, mental acuity, and our youthful appearances as well. So highly recommend that if you know your supplements, that you give these guys a go. So as we said, ASEA is the only company in the world to offer you the materials and the labour. And what are the experts saying about this? Well, this lady here, her name is Anne-Louise Gittleman, and she's known as the First Lady of Nutrition in the United States. And she said that ASEA, in my humble estimation, is the greatest advance in lifestyle medicine, which harnesses the power of your own body to keep you well. And this technology has the potential to spearhead the greatest advances in health that we've ever seen. That is said by an atomic medical physicist. His name's Dr. Gary Samuelson. I've had the pleasure of meeting him. He's a lovely gentleman, very, very smart. And the fact that he has said that there's hundreds of medical professionals and thousands of lives that have been changed from this technology. And they believe that this is a significant science breakthrough, one of the most significant science breakthroughs of our lifetime. So I would like to bring in Alec and to share his story and his experience with you tonight. Alec, when you're ready, if you'd like to unmute yourself and unvideo.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. I hope you're all enjoying Amanda's amazing presentation there. Look, my name's Alec Polson. I'm an engineer and draftsman. And at one point in my life, right now, I need to work. So it's a set of circumstances. We need to stay working. And at one day, I was doing some work, intensive work on the computer screen, and I realised that the sight in my right eye was compromised. That's a bit of a drama. And 3 days later, I'm talking with a specialist about what we can do about this. And he started to talk to me about some of what the treatments were. At that stage, I was reluctantly taking some of the liquid, at the maintenance dose. I hadn't been around the ASEA product for very long at that stage. What the specialist was saying to me, without some intervention into the problem in my eye, the prognosis was grim. So when you use a computer for your work and you can't see, that's really that's cause for concern. He spoke to me about what the cost would be to start some treatment. There was no guarantees that the treatment would work, but basically it ended up being an injection in my eye every month at the cost of $1,000 a shot. And I said to him, as good engineers do, how many shots? He said, well, maybe 10. And I thought, 10 times 1,000? You do the sums, guys. It was starting to add up. So I thought, oh, that's no worries. We've been in private health insurance for 40 years. That'll be cool. It'll cover that off. No, sir, thank you very much. You've been paying for 45 years, but this treatment isn't covered. So that was out-of-pocket expenses. And not many of us who are in health insurance experience out-of-pocket expenses, but this was now shaping up to be a financial disaster as well. So I had the shot, and a month later I was sitting in the specialist's office again. I was sitting beside another gentleman, and I said, what are you in for, mate? And he said, well, basically it was the same thing as I had. And I said, oh, how many shots have you had? He said, 42, and we're not there yet. And, you know, this is starting to be pretty grim as far as I was concerned. 4 shots in for me, my eye was stable. Now, the only thing that I'm doing that's different is taking some ASEA, and reluctantly at that. Maybe a little bit less reluctantly now. Now, my eye was stable, and I argued with the specialist and said, look, we're not going to have the injection today. I'm prepared to take the risk, and we'll come back in another few months. Hey, that was 12 months ago. I saw him a week or so ago, and he said, mate, you don't have to see me anymore. It's he cannot see any sign of the damage, which is awesome. Thank you to ASEA. What was facing us financially was pretty grim, and for the small cost of the ASEA product that we've used, it's been a fantastic outcome. One-eyed and biased. I hope that gives you something that you can work with, and just listen carefully to Amanda. She's done a wonderful presentation, so it's some great information to go. Just listen carefully and don't take as much time as I did to make a decision. Thanks, Amanda.
Thank you very much, Alex. It's an incredible journey that you've had with your eye, and I'm glad you are where you are today. Thank you. So before we close off tonight, guys, I would just like to share with you where this company has come in the last 9 years. As we said earlier, it started off with these 2 gentlemen helping a biotech company or purchasing this biotech company and saving it from being sold into some hands that we may not have ever seen the technology from again. And the ASEA company was born 9 years ago. It's been profitable since its first year. It owns its manufacturing facilities. There's many distribution centres, shipping to over 30 countries at the moment, and we have 17 distribution centres. So many, many lives have been changed in that time, as you can imagine from what you've heard. So this company had the decision to make. They needed to work out how to get it out to the world. And as we all know, every single day we're telling people, whether we've experienced a movie or a restaurant or whatever it may be, we tell them our opinions. And that was the most logical way for them to distribute a technology that couldn't fit on any shelf in a health food store. You know, it wasn't another berry or a juice or an alkaline water, and it's simply not a drug. So there was no shelf for it. It needed to be distributed where people could tell and share their experiences from the product. And that's why they chose to put it in the word of mouth industry. Now, this is a technology that no other company in the world has. There are patents on it for at least the next 20 years rolling forward. And that creates an opportunity. And this company has this new category of science. There's no competition, as we said. It's 10 to 15 years ahead of its time. It has its third-party validated science. It has a stable management and a medical board behind it. It's in a rapidly growing industries. I mean, we've got the health and wellness, we've got anti-aging and athletic performance industries that we're involved with. That these two technologies, this one technology, I should say, in a liquid and a gel covers. Now, there's generous compensation plans for sharing this technology and getting it out to the world. As you said, they don't have any marketing or any middleman to have to pay. It goes straight from the company to us, and we share it with our loved ones. So we work with a team, and this product is potent, it does work, and it's perfectly native to our bodies. And that's what I have found with being involved with this company after seeing the results that we saw was that it was quite a pleasant surprise, actually. It's not what I originally thought it to be. And whether it to be just this company and their model, I'm not sure. But I know that this has allowed me to have a whole lot more opportunities to travel. It gives me more flexibility around my family, and I get to be a part of something that's creating a legacy for this world. This is a level playing field. Anyone can do this if they have a reason to want to do it. So within this company, if you were to get involved, even just using the product, you're going to come across a lot of people that are using that. And we have farmers, real estate agents, financial industry people, stay-at-home parents, fitness professionals, right through to medical professionals. And there's actually a few prominent people that back this industry. Just to mention a couple, Richard Branson. He actually said that he's a tremendous believer in network marketing. He said, "I'm a great believer in entrepreneurs. And I think that all the future jobs in the next 20 to 30 years will actually be created by network marketing entrepreneurs." And this industry is actually twice the size of things like the music and the movie industry. It turns over $183 billion per annum. So it is quite phenomenal, really, what's involved here. This gentleman, as we said earlier, Vertus Norton, he's the founder of the company, ASEA, and he said that the real essence of network marketing is developing people. It's not the movement of product. Yes, we have something incredible. We have a technology here that's phenomenal to work with, but you could also go and work in another industry too and share that product. This network marketing here, this is about you as a person growing. It's about you using your talents and your skills, or even developing new skills that you may have always wanted to but have never had the opportunity. This is a safe environment where you have people that will help you on your journey. So as you can see from this map here, we've barely touched the world. Less than 1% of the world does know about it. So imagine having the ability to build an organization, to build a business all over the world. Now, you may not know someone in some of these countries, but you will introduce this to someone who needs it, and they will introduce it to someone, and they will introduce it to someone, and someone will know someone in these countries, which means that your business is growing and will be operating across all time zones. So think about that business opportunity that allows you to impact people's lives in a profound way, earn income with no ceiling, a passive income, and that you're not required to show up to every day, and it's building all around the world. Your business can never sleep. This is a phenomenal business model, and one of the other gentlemen that recommends this industry is Robert Kiyosaki. He's brought out a book recently. He did his Rich Dad, Poor Dad about, I don't know, was it 20, 25 years ago now? And one of his recent ones is Business of the 21st Century. It's an interesting read. So we are currently in over 33 countries now, and we plan to be in over 100 countries in the next 5 years. So we've barely got a footprint. As we said, less than 1% of the market share knows about us. It's a very unique technology. And we are looking for people right now that may want to position themselves at the very beginning of this technology and assist with, one of the largest expansions of the technology into the health and wellness industry that I believe the world is ever going to see. So this company, it is a once in a history timing. I don't know about you, but I've always wanted to be at the start of something, and this company is here. It's past its post-risk and it's pre-momentum. Well, I actually think we're right there. We're on the start of the momentum now, and this is really very exciting times. So this business, as we said, it's the right time, the right place, and we are all here right now. So tonight, I hope that I've given you enough information that that may have assisted your reasons for coming here tonight. And so where do you see yourself tonight? Would you like to get started? Would you like to use the technology and the products for your health? Would you like to also maybe earn a little bit of an extra income to cover the cost of the product, and maybe even some extras, maybe a holiday or mortgage payments? Or would you like to make an impact? And I know that this picture here shows someone sitting on a beach looking all beautiful and happy, but this truly is about making an impact in people's lives, in both their health and in their prosperity. And we are looking for people that are entrepreneurial, that want to do this. This is an unbelievable opportunity. And my experience in the past 2 years is something that I've found that you definitely should take a moment to at least have a look at it. There's absolutely nothing like making a living while making a difference. So tonight, just to make it a bit easier on yourself, when you go back and talk to the person who invited you, I'd just like to set some expectations around the product. When you're using it, 1% of people will get to see a difference quickly. Okay, so most people though need to commit to this product for a minimum of 90 days to give your body and the product a chance to start getting on top of those issues that may have been going on for a long time in your body. Okay, some people, they do take longer, and that's generally maybe people that have a serious illness in their body. So we do ask you to commit for at least 3 months and track your results. So track those by taking pictures, and also on a tracker form you can record things like your sleep, your mental clarity, muscle discomfort, seasonal issues, whatever you want to track, you can do that. So how much should you be taking? Well, every case obviously it comes with a 60 ml plastic cup. The maintenance dose is 60 ml twice a day, and you would take that 5 or 10 minutes before or after food. Actually, what we've found is that if you hold it in your mouth and swish it around anywhere between, say, 15 seconds to a couple of minutes, and that's allowing the molecules to absorb into your body and into the bloodstream to get through the blood-brain barrier, and then this product doesn't need to go through your gut to work. So if you have a specific concern tonight, please go back and have a chat to the person who invited you. And if they're not sure of the answer, then you're very welcome to reach out to myself or someone else that is able to assist you with that. So ASEA, just to recap, what is it going to do for you? It's going to create the optimal preventative environment in your body. It's going to help your body at the most foundational level of your cells. It's going to help your body fight any battles that may be raging in there right now. It's going to make you feel better, sleep better, look better, and it's going to add years to your life and life to your years. Quality of life is important. So thank you very much for coming and joining us this evening. I'd like to just finish with a quote that our founder, Vertus Norton, had said. He said, "We are all here at the start of something big with great purpose. And right now is the moment that we begin influencing the future, and we can change the world." So thank you very much for joining us. I will stop the recording, and if you have any questions, you're very welcome to unmute yourself and ask away.